I had a bit of a thought process that happened. That process of thought in which occurred inside the brain in which I have. And I thought long time ago, like really long time ago, at the beginning of our species, humanoids, there weren't many of us. There were like 10,000 of us. And at the time, we believed that this little spot of land, now called Africa, was all that there was in existence. And then time went on, and we learned that there were other lands, other places to go. And then we thought, this must be it. This must be everything in existence. And then we looked across the seas, and we found even more land, just learning once again that we were wrong. And that at that point, we thought, this is all that's in existence. It had to be. Then we figured out that these shiny things up in the sky, well, I guess we didn't figure out they were all stars quite yet, but then we discovered that we were on this huge planet. And at that time, we thought, this is all that's in existence. And then we discovered we had a whole solar system with, at the time anyways, what we thought, 8 other planets. And we thought, oh, this must be everything. Must be all that there is. And then we discovered that there were millions of solar systems. And they're all within inside this galaxy called the Milky Way. And we thought, you know what? That must be it. That's all that there is. That's it. That's all there is. And then we learned, guess what we learned next? Yep, you figured it out. That there are billions, trillions, septillions of galaxies throughout this universe. And once again, here we are. And we think, well, universe, that's all that there is. That's it. Just this. But if one thing history has taught us, is that we've been fucking wrong every time. Every single time we're wrong. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, if the math tells us that it's inevitable before we discover that this universe that we think is everything doesn't even begin to be everything. It's nothing. Probably another grain of sand on the world's largest beach. And we just keep being, why do we, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. We want to be special. So badly we want to be special. We got to be special, everyone. We got to be unique. If there's other universes, well, we don't feel so special anymore. Why the fuck do you got to feel so fucking special? Because you're not. There's like 8 billion of us currently. There's been like over 100 billion throughout time. Most of us are dead. Think about that shit. I want to get Elon Musk working on this Neuralink. Obviously, you don't ever get the first thing that's released, but I mean, we're looking at a decade or so before we really, start seeing people using this. But the Neuralink's going to be dope, and they're going to help all these people who can't even talk and stuff be able to talk and stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to eradicate mental illness and everything. Just for anyone who's willing to get that device put into their skull. It has thousands of little neurons that have to be attached to different neurons in the brain to send different messages and signals so that you can do different things or not do other things. And I really want one of these because, people with an eidetic memory, this is even crazier than that. You could be someone who has the worst memory in the world. Suddenly you remember quite literally everything. Wouldn't that be interesting? Then again, not everything, all your memories, of course, is what I'm talking about. Accessing them. What a powerful thing to have, but also a freaking terrifying thing. There's plenty that I don't want to remember. Also, what if you have repressed memories and you don't know it and you don't want to remember those memories? Oh no, now we're in all kinds of trouble. But I do think the Neuralink's pretty dope. I'd like to try that out. At the end of the day, here's what's funny. Some people are like, oh, I'll never get one. I'll never get one. Yeah, but then someone will. Just like with the cell phones, the smartphones. We can all sit there and act like we're not going to get it. But when everyone else has a freaking leg up on you, everyone else is just blowing you out of the water because they all have Neuralinks, and you don't, guess what, buddy? You're getting a Neuralink. You're going to get one. Because everyone else is going to have perfect freaking memories. Try and compete against what they'll have. Be able to learn basically whatever they want. It's going to be dope. Not held back by a bunch of BS. The subconscious. Something that a lot of people don't realize. 95% of your life is just made up by these programs in your subconscious. Programs is a word I'm using for habits, basically. You know, for 7 years of your life, roughly, people have heard me say this in real life, that, kids, until they're like 7 or 8, they're like sociopaths, They don't really understand empathy and all this other stuff. Well, I've come to learn, to know, well, first off, I need gas. Secondly, that your consciousness doesn't really kick in until then. You're kind of ran by your subconscious. And your subconscious, for those years, is picking up on habitual traits of those who are around you. And those traits and those things that they do become these like programs that you have and you run off of for the rest of your life. An easy one for you to wrap your head around would be walking. Do you remember when you learned how to walk? Of course not. Your consciousness wasn't aware yet. So that's why a lot of your memories at that age are just like pictures almost, as opposed to like memories later in your life, because it was just subconscious. And subconscious is such a powerful thing. It's the most powerful thing that you have, and it's the one thing you probably haven't even tried to fix. And you can't just get rid of programs. See, that's the problem people don't understand. You have to replace them. If you're late to work every single day, well, you just built up a habitual program in your head of being late's okay. It's just part of your life. And then you're wondering all the time, why am I late? Why am I late? Why am I late? Because your consciousness never made that decision. It was your subconscious, because you built it into a trait. I mean, your consciousness made the decision at first if you built this trait later in life. Now, if you picked it up during those first 7 years, well, blame those around you. Currently in your life, you need to have a positive peer group too. A positive peer group. Think about the 5 people closest to you. Think about their personalities, their traits, how they are. Because we tend to be kind of a makeup of that. So if the 5 people closest to you are a bunch of toxic people, well, guess what? You're going to be in some way toxic yourself, either to yourself or to others. And you might be trying to figure out, okay, Gator, if I have all these programs, how do I know which ones are good? How do I know which ones are bad? Well, I started off by saying 95% of what you do in life is ran, like of your day, of your life is ran by your subconscious. So take a look at the life you have around you, and that's made up by your subconscious. So the bad things happening around you and to you and everything, those are habitual freaking traits in your head. So replace them with new ones. And it takes doing something 42 times before it becomes a habit. It also takes not stopping, though. You got to keep doing it. You don't just quit at 42 and think that it's going to take over. It's not perfect math, but it's a good principle to have. I've been learning a lot about the subconscious and the conscious. I want to take more control back of what's happening up here. Thinking that my consciousness is only running 5 minutes or 5%. It's rough. And another good way to think of it is driving down the road and you're focused and you're looking at the light, you're looking at people coming in, you're not talking, messing with your phone, that you're conscious. You're consciously aware. But then if you have a passenger and they want to talk about the football game this past weekend or what you're going to do next weekend, well, then your consciousness has to go inside to think. That's what it has to do. So who's driving? If the consciousness isn't at the steering wheel, who's driving? That's your subconscious. Because subconsciously, you remember how to drive. You build up a habit of driving. Your subconscious is in autopilot for you while you have that conversation. Think about this stuff. This stuff can change your life if you learn it and then use it for positive reasons. I don't know, guys. I'm just rambling. I'm home. So thank you for joining me. Stay safe. Learn something new every day, at least one thing, even if it doesn't matter. It could be small, big, whatever. It's because at the end of the year, you'll learn 365 new things. That's pretty dope if you think about it. All right, I'm going to go. As always, I've been Gator the motherfucking legend. You guys have been motherfucking great. Peace.